Okay, so today I'm very, very, very excited for making empanadas.
Empanada.
Okay, so we've got some things here to make said empanadas. Let me turn this on real quick. Recipe tells us to make the filling first. Large pan over medium heat. Add vegetable oil. We're using olive oil. And onions, but we're actually going to let that heat up for a second. So your sisters are going to be so excited if I can figure out how to make these and make them well. Because we have spent a lot of money over the years buying empanadas from our empanada dealer, and makes it sound like it's drugs. So this will be an excellent money-saving venture. And then we'll be in charge of the empanadas from here on out if I get good at them. Should have heated this up beforehand, huh?
Well, we can introduce the ingredients or something.
Well, that's true. Alrighty, so we have the beef, of course. Only going to be using like a third of that. And we have potatoes.
How much? With our hearts again.
With our hearts. We're measuring everything with our hearts. No, only some things. This is about 2 potatoes.
I think I only peeled one.
This is 1 potato? This is 1 potato. Clearly I did all the prep. Thank you for doing the prep. This is half of a large white onion. We have approximately half a cup of chopped carrots, a third of a cup of peas. Let's just look at third. Yep, third cup peas. Approximately 5 cloves of garlic, but of course I measure garlic with my heart, so.
That doesn't look like 5 cloves. It looks like 2.
Well, it said 1 tablespoon of garlic, and that's approximately a tablespoon. Should we get another tablespoon? You can't make a savory recipe worse by adding more garlic, am I right?
Okay.
Should we add more?
Yes.
Yes? Yes, more garlic. 2 tablespoons of garlic. And 3/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and 5 teaspoons of brown sugar. And of course, 8 ounces of tomato sauce. This is a very tomato heavy dish. Excellent.
Why test it with your palm?
Just to see if it's hot. I'm not touching it.
Yeah, but it's dangerous.
Not all the way up here. No. All right. My health and safety officer says not to do that. Are you afraid I'm going to cook my hand?
You've done it before.
All the way up here, though? That was with steam. That was a steam kettle. I reached over the steam because I wasn't thinking. I was trying to turn it off, and I reached over it, and I burnt the crap out of my arm. You can still kind of see the scar there. This isn't steaming.
Yeah, but that's still dangerous. You don't check it with like...
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Okay, so it's hot because I can't check it anymore. Onions. We're doing onions first. Onions first. Oh, so satisfying. Yes. We pulled out everything we were going to need except for the, whatever this is called. What's this called? Spatula? Stir. We're going to saute for about a minute or until somewhat see-through. They are now slightly translucent. We are going to add garlic. Our garlic. Most of our garlic is we're adding. Sauteing until even more fragrant. Measuring our garlic with the heart while our child destroys our kitchen. What are you doing, man? That's a nice quiet activity. That is Mom and Dad. Our garlic and onions are even more fragrant. Add the ground. Don't judge me, I'm just gonna chop it off with this. I don't want to touch it. Okay, pretty efficient. I'm like trying to hold the microphone away from it so it's not only picking up that's so satisfying because I properly preheated my pan. This doesn't look like enough meat. We're measuring the meat with our heart. It said half a pound. Half a pound ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, that smells really good. Meat, garlic, and onions. I feel like that's a pretty good basis for most Filipino cuisine. And Italian. Lots of garlic and onions. So delicious. You're just watching the meat cook. I am so excited to eat these empanadas. You don't even know. I'm starving. I've been looking forward to these all flipping day. All week, actually. I feel like it's been 2 to 5 minutes. The Filipino has checked the recipes. The video was incorrect. Clearly, the recipe that I'm making is the correct one. Because all of the things I make turn out perfectly. Add tomato sauce. Delicious.
It's gonna be like spaghetti.
Ooh, I could go for some spaghetti. That really shocked me the first time I had Filipino spaghetti, that it was sweet. Really shocked me. Because I'm used to like the Italian American version of it, which is basically like very garlic, very savory. It's a lot more savory, kind of spaghetti sauce that I was used to. Also, I'd never put cheddar cheese on spaghetti. Delightful. Delightful. Am I supposed to put something else in here? Sugar. The sugar. The salt and pepper. The salt. There we go. Salt and pepper. I do not understand why we're adding sugar. That seems counterintuitive to me.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what the recipe said, and
I'm just gonna trust the recipe.
I am following the recipe this time, except for the garlic and the meat that I didn't follow too well. I'm surprised we don't have to cook the carrots first, because they're kind of, you know. Stir until combined. That's looking. Ooh, losing onions. Not the onions. Ooh, that smells lovely. It does smell like spaghetti sauce. It does look like spaghetti sauce. Add the carrots and potatoes. Carrots. Hello. Carrots. And potatoes. What is that, German? And cook for 10 to 12 minutes.
Patatas.
Patatas, very good. Okay, so let's set our timer then, or else I will totally forget. These come later. We want our potatoes to be easily pierced by a fork, but not disintegrating according to the directions. Oh, this is so thick and lovely. Ooh, where'd you get a mango? All right. I know it's an enormous pan. It's not even full all the way, and I still somehow managed to spill a whole bunch of this. Surely we haven't screwed this recipe up already. Surely. We did add more meat than originally anticipated. More than the recipe called for. I think we need to add a little water. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm just afraid it's gonna burn. Which is gonna be great when we go and put it into things, but like it's just like the water's just gonna keep evaporating. I'm gonna be stirring it and it's gonna move as a whole solid by the end of 8 minutes. All right, were we supposed to cover this? Google, do you have the answers? Doesn't say anything about covering it. A lot of the feedback that we've been getting is that it's hard to hear us because we're standing so far away from the camera. So we got these handy little microphones. Hope that wasn't like tapping on a fishbowl. Riveting entertainment, just watching me stir this for 12 minutes. Having never seen anybody make empanadas before, I can't say that this is looking incorrect. My assumption is that this is correct. Can't be wrong, right?
There's no one way to do it.
I suppose. The timer goes off, and now we add the peas. I kind of feel like the potatoes and the carrots should have been cooked first and then set aside so that they could like soften up a little bit. Alrighty, so for this bit, we are going to pop this in the fridge till we're ready to put it in something. 2 cups of flour. 2 cups of flour. You want to dump in there? 2 tablespoons of sugar. Little baby, you want to dump it? Want to dump it? Thank you. And then we're going to do another one. I'm going to pour. Thank you. We'll put the eggs over here. Good. Very good. Give it a little tap. Tap, tap. Okay. You want to do the baking powder? So much for not making a mess. Thank you! Thank you, Desi. You can go help someone else now. Here's our special guest star, Little Bub. Alrighty, and then we're gonna cut up a whole stick of butter and just pop it in there until it becomes slightly crumbly. Any minute now. Okay, it's crumbled. I need an egg and 2 tablespoons of ice water. That would have been hilarious if I couldn't have done it. All right, so this is the ice water that I set out earlier. Just 1 tablespoon, whisking the wet ingredients. Just like when we made scrambled eggs the other. Good job, are you done mixing? And we are going to let it form a dough ball. All right, it's starting to form. It's turning into a ball. Our dough is forming into a ball. I don't want to overwork it. Wrap it up in plastic wrap and refrigerate. Do we need to add something? I think it's missing raisins. I think that's what I'm missing.
You need to put egg, right?
You're right. He does add hard-boiled egg, doesn't he? This recipe doesn't call for it.
Are we sure it's made by a Filipino?
It specifically says Filipino. Well, I didn't read through the entire blog post. Maybe I should have. So far, the filling looks correct. So I guess they just don't do eggs and raisins. Oh, good. She's added a picture. That's what ours looks like. I didn't set a timer for the dough. Estimate 12 minutes. Gracious, we've been going on almost an hour? Have mercy. This stupid thing says that this is going to take us an hour and 15 minutes, and we are already almost an hour into this. Part of me wants to just do this my own way, and the other part of me is like, no, don't do it your way. When you do it your way, it gets screwed up. Do it the way the directions say. But I don't want to do it that way. Holy cow, each empanada has 246 calories. 13 grams of fat. Well, nothing good is ever low fat. Looks delicious. I will probably eat 5. This recipe doesn't call for eggs, but I will totally add eggs. We can go off book. That's never ended badly for us before. We can just keep making empanadas until we find a favorite one. I am totally fine with that. We can just keep making empanada videos. That can be our whole channel. Just making empanadas. We're on a journey to perfect the recipe. Wish I could get that guy's recipe. Very much doubt he would share it. He's selling them. That would take away from his business. So I have wax paper, but not parchment paper, which is not at all the same thing, but that's what I have, so that's what we're doing. So I have chilled my dough. I was expecting you to catch it. Ready? I was not expecting myself to catch it. Recipe says you gotta cut it up and all little balls, and I guess I'm gonna follow the recipe, even though that's not the way that I want to do it. It never goes awry.
It's called a personal touch.
A personal touch. Not at all a mistake. All right, roll these up.
There's a nose hair.
That's your nose hair.
Why is it blonde?
It's not blonde. That was definitely black.
It's tugmo.
Stop trying to make me look bad. Telling people there's boogers in our food.
Tugmo.
There's no boogers in our food, I promise. Tugmo. Why is it funny when I say it?
Because of your accent.
My accent is funny. My accent is funny. About yay big. I really just want, it looks like a cake ball. I want to eat it now. Oh no. It's like art class. I feel like I'm playing with Play-Doh. Okay, the recipe specifically said not to overwork it. So I'm going to hybridize my idea and her idea. Her being the lady that wrote the post. Squish it inside this instead of rolling it. Is that a horrible idea? Probably, but we're gonna give it a shot. This is going to fit in what I'm calling our empanada press. My cameraman's making adjustments. Oh, hey, that's a great idea. Oh, now we can't see. Boy, my arms look beefy. Squish it down a little bit more. These are they're called hand pie presses. I found them at Target for like $3 for a pair. You get one too! I looked at them and thought empanadas, and now I finally get to use them. So this is about the right size. I should not be squishing this as much as I am, I feel. Let's give this a shot here. So we take the dough and we put it in the thing, and then we take this.
So flatten it.
And then we do the squishy smushy. Oh! Then squish and pray. Oh dear. Not centered here. This is incorrect. It says not to overwork the dough, so I'm trying to like be aware of not overworking the dough, but like I want the meat to go everywhere at the same time. So all right, let's give this another shot here. And squish it. Okay, that one is less pretty, but it worked, kinda. It does feel a bit like I'm playing with Play-Doh. I don't think it needs to be a perfect circle like I thought. I think it needs to be more of an oval. Stuck. How did I do that so perfectly the first time, and now I keep goofing it up? What in the actual heck? How is this possible? It looks a bit like a stegosaurus. I think we're gonna tell our son that these are dinosaur pies. It's less unpleasant to look at. It says don't overwork the dough. Well, I'm trying, but it's hard. Yeah, we're definitely gonna call these dinosaur pies. I don't think we can call these empanadas. Well, what do we always say? Doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to taste good. Ooh! Hey, it still sucks. The first one was so perfect.
Maybe they like trim it at holes. Let's see if we can patch it up.
Patch it up, patch it up.
It's a Frankenstein empanada. Maybe we're putting too much filling.
I just don't think we have enough dough. I think I needed to slightly increase the amount of dough so that when we squish it, it doesn't do whatever this is. Aha! We got good at it in the end. Let me just roll it back up on itself. Squish it back in there. Give this a try here. Whoop! Little smashy smash. Oh ho ho! Slightly better. More stable looking at the very least. Squish it all back in here. and give it another good squish. And nope, that did nothing. Hang on now. Why does that look worse? Arrange empanadas like so. All right. Directions. It's gonna be another hour before we can eat these because we gotta brush them with stuff, and then we gotta put them in the oven, and they gotta bake for 25 or 30 minutes. And then we gotta let them cool so that we don't burn the crap out of our mouths when we try to eat. This takes like 3 times longer when you're making a new recipe as opposed to one that you already know well. Because the instructions said that this was supposed to take us an hour and 15 minutes, and we are now 2.5 hours into this process. It literally took us twice the time, and we haven't even gotten these in the oven yet. We have had helpers and interruptions, though. In fairness, helpers, big helpers. Okay, brush with egg wash. It's like painting.
Is it both sides or just that one?
It just said brush with egg wash. Instructions unclear. I really hope these are good. Yes, so you can watch me paint my empanadas. This is extremely appetizing, if you can't tell. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh, that's why we don't flip them, I think.
Okay, then I guess.
That one's gone rogue. Let's put these in the oven. 25 minutos. We'll be back in 25 minutes. We pulled them out of the oven. We let them cool on the cooling rack. We learned why the recipe called for parchment paper while they're baking. They stick to the pan. These ones didn't break. We did have one casualty. But they look good. They sound crunchy.
I think you do need to cover both sides.
You think so? I didn't actually look at the bottom. Oh yeah. So the top's nice and shiny. That's the side that got the egg wash. This side's not. They don't look like the empanada guys' empanadas, but the nothing we've made so far has looked like
what it's supposed to look like.
Right. Anyway, let's try it. Ooh. It's not sweet. It's more savory.
Let's try it with ketchup.
They're not the empanada dude empanadas for sure, but they are very good. Good. I want to try another recipe, but I like this one. These are good. Very tomatoey. Very tomato sauce heavy. And I'm adding more. Success?
I guess this is a different recipe from what we're used to eating. There's this Filipino guy that sells empanadas. His is very yummy. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still yummy. It's just, it's not what we're used to tasting, if you get what I mean.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. Not bad for a first try.
Not bad.
I want to try a different recipe, but I do like these. They're more savory, I think, because our empanada dealer, it's a little sweeter. These are sweeter. And of course, with eggs and raisins. Those are really good with barbecue sauce. I don't feel like these would be good with barbecue sauce. I feel like these need ketchup.
I feel like anything.
I got so overzealous about more empanadas, we forgot to. We were gonna have Desi say subscribe, but he had to go to bed.
It's getting late. So thank you to our 66 subscribers.
Even though 3 of you are actually us.